video is related to current affairs, but this video is a tribute to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Here we will discuss the policies, the economic policies made by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and that we have called as Atalnomics, and what role those policies have played in the development of Indian economy. Yes, because Atal Bihari Vajpayee is remembered for one of the greatest policies, and how they have played very important role. We will also try to connect those initiatives with the 2018 or the current situation. Yes, first policy of Atalnomics was disinvestment. Disinvestment is also called reducing government ownership in public sector enterprises. First, let us discuss the background. In 1940s, after independence, we have adopted the socialist model of development of Indian economy, and we have given importance to public sector enterprises. These public sector enterprises were given the role to develop all the sectors. They were in every area, and Jawaharlal Nehru have called these public sector enterprises as temples of India, because they have been given a very important role for the development of Indian economy. But by the 1990s, these public sector enterprises started showing certain patterns. Patterns like inefficiency, patterns like underperformance, patterns like high investment but low performance or output, high investment but low output, patterns like non-accountability, these have become the criteria of the public sector enterprises, because in this era, in the socialist model, it was also the concept of closed economy, and the primary role was taken by the public sector enterprises. After 1990s, we started disinvesting. Yes, we have disinvested around 33 public sector enterprises and got around 33,000 crore rupees. And we have utilized those rupees for the development of Indian economy or society. But this was not a set criteria. This was more like an extracurricular activities. You need to realize that if you are allowing the liberalization and privatization, globalization that we have adopted after 1990s, you need to reduce the role of the public sector, because currently if they are covering almost all the areas, they are left no opportunity for the private sector. So that is why there was a need to promote disinvestment as a set criteria, and it started after 1990. After 1999. This was also the era of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, because the tenure of Atal Bihari Vajpayee was from 1998 to 2004. This was the era of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. In 1999, Atal Bihari Vajpayee has set up a separate department called Department of Disinvestment. A separate department. That means disinvestment was given a very important role. Yes, this was made a separate ministry in 2001. Separate Ministry of Disinvestment. That means government is very serious regarding reducing the ownership. Yes, if you talk about the performance and all those things, see, disinvestment, okay, it is one thing that is very important. But Atal Bihari Vajpayee was also understanding that if I am going to sell all the shares of the government in public sector enterprise, then Indian economy will be privatized. And Indian economy, privatization of the Indian economy That means they will think about capitalism, maximization of profit, not the welfare. So that is why he was also very certain that I should reduce the ownership in a certain extent so that I will be having maximum shareholding. That means I should sell the minimum shares to the public. At the same time, I should make sure whatever money I am getting from the disinvestment, I should utilize it for the public welfare as well as revitalization of the public sector enterprise. So this was the philosophy of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and which he started from 1999, and that is why he is also called the father of disinvestment. Not in the sense that selling the ownership of the government, but making the public sector enterprise accountable. Yes, in 2005, we have set up a separate fund called National Investment Fund. Yes, because we are carrying this policy forward, we need to connect it with the current also. National Investment Fund, whatever the disinvestment money government is going to get, that will go in a separate fund called National Investment Fund, having both the parts. 75% of the money will go for the public welfare, and 25% of the money will go to the same public sector enterprises whose share has been sold by the government to revitalize the public sector enterprises. Because it is also important. अगर हम सारा का सारा पैसा पब्लिक वेलफेयर में लगा देंगे तो फिर जो इनएफिशिएंसी थी पब्लिक सेक्टर एंटरप्राइजेस की वो कैसे हम दूर करेंगे. 25% will be reinvested in the public sector enterprises. But in 2008 we had seen the economic crisis called global economic crisis, and that is why whatever the objective we have set up under the National Investment Fund, we were not able to follow that. We have started spending all the money in the public welfare because Indian economy was facing the challenge of economic crisis. But when we talk about the current situation, 2017, government has set the target of 72,500 crore rupees and government has achieved 1 lakh crore rupees. In 2018, the target in the current budget, government has set the target with 80,000 crore rupees, and also they have renamed the Department of Investment as DIPAM, which is also called Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. That means not only I am going to sell the share of the public sector enterprise, but also this is my responsibility that the public sector enterprise, by selling the share, it should become more efficient. I will invest the same money in the public sector enterprise and make it more accountable. This is the philosophy. But the set pattern started with the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and that is why he is also called the promoter, the pioneer, the champion of disinvestment, because he wanted to promote ease of doing business in the Indian economy. Unless the private sector is going to come in the Indian economy, public sector will not perform. There will be a pressure on the public sector if the private sector is going to come in the Indian economy. But how private sector can come in the Indian economy? Government will have to roll back, reduce the ownership. Today, India is the brightest spot in the world economy. It receives a lot of foreign investment. Yes, it receives a lot of investors are coming in our country. Our macroeconomic fundamentals are very strong, and this all have been started by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and we can also say this thing, that this investment, which was a set pattern by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, also promoted one more era of public-private partnership. Government has started reducing the ownership and the private sector has got more and more important roles. Today, private sector plays a very important role in almost all the areas. It has been possible only because of the disinvestment policy started by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, in spite of the opposition from the employees, in spite of the opposition from the opposition leaders, because he was very much sure that there is a need of disinvestment for the development of the future economy. He was a statesman, he was knowing about the future, and that is why today India is in this situation that it is the fastest growing economy. It is only because of the Atalnomics, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So that is all about this video. We will discuss the next video with the next topic with the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much.